Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I am your host, Mike Luke. All right, joined by Mr. Jason Scheer. Hello, Jason Scheer. How are you doing today?
Splendid, Michael. How are you?
We've got a lot to get to this show. We are going to talk about the Arizona offense, the Arizona defense. We are going to talk about fake concerns from ASU fans. We are going to talk about Rod Gilmore. We are going to talk about a ton of different things. But first, Scheer, give me your initial observations, and then we're going to dive into the details, the nitty-gritty.
Just to put it as quick as possible, defense bad. Yeah. Offense good. I mean, the defense was – the second half was better, but, man, that defense in the first half was scary bad.
Yes. All right. Now, that is not a good thing, obviously. Let's talk about the offense first. We're going to start off with good things here, and then we're going to go elsewhere. But the first thing that I've got is – When it comes to this offense, I have no concerns whatsoever about this offense at all. Now, listen, we can talk about the O-line. We can talk about Rhino going out. We're going to talk about that, obviously. But I thought the running game and T-Mac, we'll start with T-Mac. T-Mac's absolutely fantastic. T-Mac is the best player in the country.
Yeah, it's funny because we were very adamant that T-Mac was the best receiver in the country, and other people talked about Luther Burden and some other guy.
No.
The whole time we're like, no. And then finally everyone realizes, yes, he is the best receiver in the country.
And it's one of those things, too. It's not even really like I'm sure Luther Burden is a fine individual. But Luther Burden is not it's not Tetaroa McMillan. All right, now let's talk about some fake concerns here from our ASU friends that they're saying that Tetaroa McMillan getting 10 catches for 300-plus yards and 4 touchdowns shows that Arizona doesn't have any other wide receivers. No, that is not what that shows. It shows that, guess what? If you're playing New Mexico and you're single covered, you are going to get the football and you should get it every single time. I would absolutely be I would be very upset if he didn't get the ball every single time.
You take what the defense gives you. And for whatever reason, even though Bronco Mendenhall said they tried everything, but they didn't.
Right.
If T-Mac is single covered with no high safety, I'm taking my chances.
Every single time.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. And were there plays where he missed wide open guys? Absolutely. And Noah realizes it. Jacory was open a few times on routes that would have been easy touchdowns, and Noah focused in on T-Mac a little bit. That doesn't mean the other guys aren't capable. It means that Noah said to himself, man, this guy has 300 yards. I'm just going to force feed him the ball a little bit.
Yes, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Oh, look what we got in here. The great Kevin Thomas, the prodigious Kevin Thomas. Hello, Kevin Thomas.
Yes, indeed. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I just wanted to add to Jason's point. I think that if Brent Brennan didn't utilize the advantages that Arizona had with T-Mac at the line of scrimmage, people would be criticizing him for that. I think that using T-Mac too much, is that really a thing when he had as many yards and touchdowns as he did? I mean, I would see if he had all these targets and he wasn't putting up the numbers that he did, but he did put up those numbers, and I think that matters.
Yeah, that matters. And again, our good pal Glenn messaged me and said, look at Louisiana Tech, and I'm looking at this right now. He sent me the box score when Troy Edwards caught for 400 yards, and I'm looking at this, and he said, whoa, he spread the ball around. Interesting, but Glenn, you missed something there. Louisiana Tech didn't run the ball. They literally didn't run the ball. If you're not going to run the ball, then I understand you've got to spread it around a little bit. But guess what? They didn't run the ball. Arizona can run the ball. We are going to get to that in just a second, Scheer. But I have no concerns about this whatsoever. I don't want Arizona to outthink themselves. As a matter of fact, I think it's absurd when you get coaches that do outthink themselves, and they're like, well, we got to go away from T-Mac. We can't keep throwing to him. Why? It's like the coach that you're running the ball and getting 8 yards every time, and then you just stop doing it.
Yeah, it always makes no sense when a coach does that. Like, it's working. Just do it until it stops working. Like, if you play a video game and a play works a couple times, you run that play until it stops working. Like, you just do. And I would assume NAU will have a completely different approach against T-Mac. And I will say that I would be concerned if other receivers didn't step up this weekend. My guess is NAU puts like 3 guys on T-Mac and challenges other parts of the offense. But
yes, I would certainly assume that. And if they don't, guess what? We do the exact same thing again. Now, also with T-Mac, I think there were some concerns about, how is he going to look with the foot? We told you during camp the foot is absolutely fine. Listen, this is like I said, this is the best player that I've seen at the U of A in 25 years. He's something you just don't see around here.
If he puts up like 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns, Would you consider putting him up there with McAllister? Or is McAllister your guy?
What is the stat? What is the stat line again?
Like 13 and touchdowns and 1,300 yards.
Yeah, he's right there at that point. I was talking with our buddy Kelvin Efon about this yesterday, and Chris McAllister was the best DB in the country. He was a first-team All-Pro. He was a top 10 pick. Dwayne Akina still talks about him. Dwayne Akina's coached many good defensive backs, and he still says that that is the gold standard. But yes, T-Mac is definitely entering that realm. That is how good T-Mac is. I get some people that tell me, they're like, well, what about Gronk? Everybody knew Gronk's potential, but he just wasn't healthy. So,
Gronk's not close because he just didn't do enough in college.
Yeah, he just didn't do enough in college. So I would be okay. I would be okay with that, by the way. Okay, now let's get to so those were some fake concerns, obviously. Now let's get to some other things that are legitimate concerns. Big Rhino, before he went out, was very good. I think that our good friend Jay Merck on Twitter was saying that he was getting turned around. No, he wasn't. He was doing very, very well. Even we only like PFF if it fits our focus, and it definitely helps us here.
Yeah, we only use PFF when it helps our case, and he was the highest rated offensive lineman, I believe. Him and Leith were actually the two. Yeah, he was good. There were some people complaining about the offensive line, and I'll be blunt, I have no idea what they were watching. I mean, I guess because they weren't running the ball that well in the first half, but it's like, what? New Mexico was selling out against the run. And then when they weren't selling out against the run, we saw what happened in the second half. So I don't have any concerns about the O-line.
I have no concerns about it whatsoever. It means absolutely nothing to me when it comes to that. Now, again, we're going to get to it because there are some concerns, certainly. Oh, Roy Samuelson says, I haven't heard anything about Tyler Loop yet. Yes, I got to talk with Steve Loop before the game. Steve Loop, our good pal Steve Loop. And I apologized for Jason Scheer to Steve Loop. I said, listen, all right. Okay, I apologize. I'll get to that. But I did talk with him, and I did tell him. I said, "Listen, I know Scheer didn't put him on your All Big 12 team. Don't worry, I made up for it, and I will slap him into eternity until then."
Yeah, I got too cute with that. I tried to spread some love, and then Tyler Loop says, "Screw you, Scheer," and then Shelby spends the whole afternoon with Steve Loop and his wife, and like hanging out of they're the greatest people, and it's like, okay, Shelby, I get it. I made a mistake.
You made a big mistake because some of those kicks would have been good from 95 yards, not just 45 yards. Okay, fine. If there are not 12 states in the Big 12, I do apologize. I thought there were. What are there, 13? I don't know. Either way, close enough. I will not.
It's all the same. What are numbers?
It's all the same. Who really cares? I'm a day one looper. I like that. Okay. Now, let's get now to the running game, Scheer.
We were so right about everything.
We weren't right. The defense was atrocious. We need to be.
Well, no. We ignored that.
Oh, hey. Oh, Glenn, we were just talking about you, Glenn. You need to look at that Louisiana Tech box score you sent me. They literally did not run the ball in that game. So, of course, other receivers are going to catch the ball. Okay. Now, let's talk about the run. Let's talk about the running game. With this running game with Quali Conley and Ja'Cory Krosky this merits more than a mention. This merits many, many mentions. Let's talk first about JCM. JCM's a stud. Again, JCM is the man. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, I mean, this goes kind of back if you want to criticize Doe or whatever. If you watch the game, there's the wheel route where Ja'Cory, the ball was overthrown a little bit and he was out of bounds. And then there was another one where he was wide open. If those two plays are made, he has 100 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving.
Right.
So and that's going to be, I'm not saying he's going to get 100 and 100, but he's good. And it's very clear that they're going to use him in multiple ways. I have no issues with the running back room.
I have no issues with the running back room. Now let's talk about Quali Conley a little bit, and then we want to get to our friend Fam and what we need to do with Fam because we do not want to waste Fam. But the first thing I would say is Quali Conley's really, really good. I mean, he is again, and I keep saying this that with Quali Conley, he might not necessarily be the dude that you look at. Quail Conley, yeah. He might not necessarily be the dude that you look at and you're like, all right, that's a clear NFL back. Like you look at Ja'Cory Krosky and he merits an NFL consideration. There's just, you just see it and you know. With Quali Conley, it's you got to watch him a little bit, but he knows where all the holes are. He's able to hit those holes, and he's able to go from there. He's very good. I almost have been one white. He's very good there, Scheer.
Yeah. I mean, quality's good, man. And we said it throughout camp. Like, he's a legitimately good running back. And people look and go like, hey, he came from San Jose State. No, like, this dude can play. And we saw it. And, they use like 10 carries and 9 carries or whatever it finished up. It's going to be hard. And it really is an issue. Like, who gets most carries? They're going to go with the hot hand. In this case, it was Quali and JCM. And it's a good problem to have, man.
It's a very good problem to have. You know what never has a real problem, though? Our good buddies at Sanderson Ford at Jason Scheer. Now, Jason Scheer is always getting a new car, but he's generally getting like a van or a Prius or a, something not cool. We need to get Scheer set up with a Sanderson Ford. So here's the deal. Shop the Sanderson Ford Playoff Payoff Sale with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsenses. I like that. They are giving you big payoffs with 0% financing, with just added huge, all kinds of good stuff. Finance offers for 36 months OAC through Ford Motor Credit, up to $3,400 in rebates on the Ford F-150 XLT. Get 0% for 36 months OAC from Ford Credit. See dealer for details. Scheer, you would look absolutely amazing in one of these Sanderson Ford trucks.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send me a truck for free, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But I'm a very masculine person, right? I'm very manly. If I had a truck, it would almost be too much, man.
And you might say to yourself, is there any way that Scheer could get manlier? Yes, Shady Rays. Here is the great deal with Shady Rays. You might say to yourself, Mike Luke, he can also look, could he look cool? No. But Jason Scheer could look even cooler. So here's the deal with it. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays has given out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That's like an Arizona basketball recruit or somebody that ASU wishes they could get. Shady Rays, my friends. Check it out. Shady Rays, all kinds of really, really good stuff. Scheer, again, look at those. We could call Scheer's Shady Rays. Yeah, I like that.
Scheer's Shady Rays. I like it.
Okay, now, all right, we got the comments coming in hot and heavy. Let's see in here. Oh, Glenn's already causing problems. By the way, I give Glenn a lot of grief on Twitter, but people need to know I actually really like Glenn. He's just wrong about stuff. So you got to keep that in mind. We might even have Glenn on this show sometime at Arizona ASU. Whoa. Exactly. Yeah, I know. We will see. Okay. So now let's get to a little bit of the offensive line. I don't understand why people keep talking about how the offensive line is a concern. If you want to talk about the depth, sure, I get it. But Arizona was able to run the ball at will. They were able to throw the ball at will, and Noah wasn't touched. That's what you are supposed to do. The offensive line did its job, Jason Scheer.
Noah didn't get touched. Arizona averaged 8 yards a run, and Noah threw for like 3. I don't understand. I would wait. You got to wait for your complaints. This isn't a good offensive line week to complain.
All right, so let's talk about it. Now, Rhino obviously went out. Oh, my bad, Lotto. Interesting. Well, we're going to get to Lotto, Joseph. We're going to get to Lotto.
We're going to find out.
We're about to find out. Yes, sooner than later. Yes. All right, let's talk about everything. With Rhino before he went out, I think and again, I get it's New Mexico. But Rhino alleviated a lot of concerns. I thought he looked natural out there. I thought, his feet moved well. I thought he looked pretty good. Now, listen, we don't want to talk about it, obviously, but can we talk about it, Scheer?
I'll talk about it.
All right, you get in trouble then, not me.
Yeah, I would be surprised based on what I've heard if he plays this weekend. We'll just leave it at this weekend.
Yes, we're hopefully better.
It's not a season-ending thing.
No.
I want to be very clear with that. It's not a season-ending thing. I think with NAU and then the games coming up after that, you let him rest that knee a little bit. Yes.
Now, Matthew Lotto. All right. I'll just say it, and then Scheer, feel free to slap me around. With Matthew Lotto, it comes down to this. Was not very impressed with him in camp, but The coaching staff obviously feels he has high upside, and I will say this. I very much like putting in somebody, though, that does have high upside. He's a freshman. The thing that would really stink for me is if you put in some fifth-year senior that I know stinks and can't get any better. Matthew Lotto has potential. By the way, I saw him or maybe it was the week before at Pokey and Pita or whatever that place is called on University. Either way, we're going to find out. He didn't play bad, though, Scheer.
Oh, he wasn't bad at all. And the thing that I like that may have gone underappreciated was, so the coaching staff moved Jonah to left tackle,
right,
and put put Lotto at right tackle, which is smart because I don't want, no offense to Lotto, if I'm choosing one of those guys to block the blind side for Noah Fafita, it's going to be Jonah every time. So if Rhino doesn't play, Jonah's going to be that left tackle. Lotto would be that right. He was fine. Now look, in practice, he wasn't good enough. I'm going to be blunt, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me. But maybe he's one of these guys that just gets better in games. We'll find out Saturday.
But I will say this, though. With him, though, I always err on the side of somebody that I think can get better because, let's be honest, Big Jonah is probably going to be like Scheer, and he's going to be off playing in the NFL in a year. So
I'm going to say this respectfully, even though it's not respectfully. No, I'm not. I don't care.
Don't say it.
There's Jews that have been on this team that are on the offensive line that this is like their second or third year. And I can tell you right now, they'll never play at Arizona.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
We've talked about him. Lotto's going to play. Like, even if he's not very good this year because he's a true freshman, I wouldn't surprise me at all if he's a starter by the time he leaves. I actually would assume he will be.
I would assume he would be as well. You don't put a kid like in that in if you don't plan him starting. And I think the hope is that he's able to start by next year, assuming Jonah goes off to the NFL. All right, now we got some people that want apologies from Jason Scheer. Next apology we need from Scheer. BBN started for Texas, Jason Scheer. If you're good enough to start for Texas, you're probably pretty good.
Yeah, I never said he was bad. Some of you
Scheer, you said that it wasn't. You said it wasn't really a loss.
Mike, you're number one at this. You take it and you change things.
No.
I don't think it. I said I didn't think it would be a huge loss, and until we'll see. Maybe it will be.
All right. Well, either way, I wish the BBN was.
How about it's Jay Norvell, by the way?
We can definitely talk a lot about Jay Norvell, but yeah, he stinks. I didn't get that one from the beginning. I did not get that one. Scheer does not need to apologize for this. Scheer does need to apologize. Yes, Erica L. Day being.
I don't think the interior of the defensive line was strong at all against New Mexico.
No, it wasn't. By the way, it's called a red herring argument. Did you know for the longest time I thought the red herring was called the smoked herring? And then finally one guy's like, why do you keep calling it a smoked herring? And I was like in middle school when I called it that. He's like, what, are we eating this?
Have you ever had smoked herring before?
No. Is it good?
No. Creamed herring is disgusting.
Oh, it sounds
terrible.
That's
a food. Creamed herring, not good.
Not good. We will not eat this. All right, now let's get to some of the less optimistic parts of the game. But first, let's talk about something that is optimistic, and that would be Circle K. All right, now you might say to yourself, Mike, when was the last time you went to Circle K? I went to Circle K this morning. I went to the GOAT Circle K. That is the GOAT Circle K, Scheer, by the way.
6th Street?
Yep, 6th Street.
Yeah.
Yep. And somebody tweeted at me and said Chuck Cecil was there the other day as well. Chuck Cecil might not know a ton, but Chuck Cecil knows Circle K, man. Yeah,
he goes to Circle K.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Check it out. Now, here's the great thing about this. This is join the Inner Circle for free. Free membership. Save 25% 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Save 3 cents per gallon every day. Plenty of other member-exclusive deals and discounts. Scheer, by the way, listen, look at Glenn. Glenn is obviously upset. We do not like Glenn upset. The best way that I think we can unupset Glenn is tell him to go to Circle K in Phoenix. There's many options up in Phoenix. Glenn, go to Circle K.
Yeah, get yourself a Polar Pop and just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It is okay. And another one. Game time. Now, Scheer is the best endorser of Game Time that there is because Scheer can sit here and actually say that, he helped out a friend in need. Scheer.
Yep. Someone at the Alamo Bowl, Game Time, downloaded the app. I was like, why don't you have tickets? The game starts in 2 hours. He said, I got Game Time, brother. And boom, went to the game. Game Time.
It was really that easy. Here's the deal. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Ooh.
Arizona ranked 20th in the poll today, by the way.
By the way, Kevin Thomas, we're going to do a St. Louis segment maybe tomorrow. Do we think that how many Circle K's do we think are in St. Louis?
A lot. We Googled this.
Did we Google this?
Yeah, tons.
Kev, come on. We want to hear your voice, but you.
Kevin, I can get that information for you.
All right.
Give me like a minute. I got you.
Kev's the king of graphics. That might even be a fun graphic for tomorrow, Kevin. Yes, exactly. All right. Now, check it out, though. Game Time. All kinds of good stuff with Game Time. You will thank me later. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit then about the defense and what you do here. I am somewhat like you, Scheer, and that I believe that this is still a one-off. I believe there's more than enough talent to be good on this defense, but what we saw on Saturday was atrocious. They made Devin Dampier look like, combination of Tim Tebow and Vince Young.
There's just no way to put it. It had looked like the players had no idea what edge containment was. Like they weren't trying. It was bad, and Trey Smith would crash in, and then it was like. A part of me, we have to see what it is, because the defensive line is supposed to be more aggressive, but were they so aggressive that they just weren't containing the edge? Was there something lost in translation? Like, what was it?
Right. But that is something, though, that I still believe can be fixed. What I would have been worried about is if New Mexico, and we've seen this with the Rich Rod teams, if New Mexico was saying, get out of our way or we are going to run right down your throat, that would have worried me a little bit.
Yeah, and we're going to find out what the reality is. We're going to find out a lot in the next few weeks, right?
Right.
NAU, if they're bad again, I think we worry. The one thing with the edge containment, when you look at the conference, Kansas State. If you don't contain the edge against Avery Johnson, Arizona has no chance. None.
And that's something. We get one more tune-up, and then the real bullets start flying here. The real bullets start flying, and then I think at that point the real bullets start flying. I just got a very funny text from the great Kevin Thomas. Kevin Thomas, we're going to have a St. Louis segment tomorrow, like I said.
I'm going to wear a Band-Aid under my eye for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you want to hear me rap or want to hear me? Check this out. Even when I'm with my boo, all I think about is you. Nelly, I love you. I do. Okay, now let's get back to the defense. Now that we got that out of our hair.
Wow.
All right, but the defense has to be better pretty much across the board, though. The secondary, where are you? All right, go ahead.
No, it was a weird game because, like, Tacario's a quiet dude, and then on Saturday he was an animal, right?
And those were inexcusable, let's be honest.
Yeah. Jacob Manu, I think, missed 4 tackles.
Which never happens.
Right. Like, it was a weird game. It was almost like they were too fired up and too looking for the big play too often.
I did get a guy on Twitter that was coming at me, and I have blocked my second person ever on Twitter because he was coming at me, and he was bringing up like civil rights issues and stuff during this debate. But listen, it's one game, and don't freak out like this, guys. And again, they were kind of Shaz, our guy from Jack in the Box, said they were kind of selfish penalties. They were stupid penalties.
All of them.
Yes. So again,
taking off your helmet, Tacario, both of them. Yeah, they were all stupid.
Yes, exactly. Did not like that at all. So you got to be better in that. And I do believe they are going to be better. Like I said, here's where I'm at with the defense. With the defense, we have seen bad defense at the U of A. We have seen a lot of bad defense at the U of A. And Rick Barron's, yes, he was bringing up, yes, it was terrible. So I had to block him. But this is not a bad defense. I think, though, that you got to be able. The contain has to be better. And you know what? I will say this: it did get better in the second half. But in all fairness, it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, I mean, again, like if you want to make the comparison, the second half defense was considerably better than the first. It was borderline good, but it's just not good enough.
It was just not good enough. And again, we've said this from day one when it comes to this team. All we need from this team is to finish in the top 5 in the Big 12 defensively. We should be able to do that, Jason Scheer, in my opinion.
I don't see why not.
The talent is there. Again, I am chalking this up as a one-off, so we will see. Okay, now let's go around the Big. Let's go around the Big 12 here a little bit. What did anything stick out to you, Scheer?
No, I mean,
it really didn't. I know. I was hoping you had something. I don't.
I mean, the Texas Tech Abilene Christian game was way too close. Probably. I think the one thing that I really took away is Houston's the worst team in the conference.
By a mile. It is not ASU. We were hoping that it would be. It is but by a mile. This is a very, very bad football team.
Yeah, that's the worst. I think I voted BYU was the worst. Houston's worst.
Yeah, Houston's worst. Houston is. Do we get Houston?
Yeah, on a Friday night.
Oh, on a Friday night. Oh, give the people what they want.
Here on a Friday night.
Give the people what they want. Arizona, Houston. That just sells itself, Jason Scheer. This is true. Also, we are all big Nebraska fans this week. So we do need to obviously let's talk about ASU for a minute. All right, so good win for ASU. But I'm going to do something that ASU fans do, and this is exactly. Well, doesn't it bother you that you didn't have a running back that went for over 50 yards in the game? That just you don't have a good running back. You could just had to throw a bunch of people out there, and none of them were good enough. That is the ASU argument, Scheer.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously it was an impressive win. Wyoming was not good, and I know that ASU would counter saying that they made them look not good, but they lost their best running back. It turns out their starting quarterback is hurt and out for a while now. Like, I don't know. We'll find out, and they're probably going to beat Mississippi State. Because I think Mississippi State, there's a good chance ASU starts 3-0, and then I think it goes downhill.
And then it goes downhill from there. So enjoy it while you can. So I will. We'll leave it at that. We're going to talk more Big 12. We're going to talk more Big 12 tomorrow, though. Let's get back to the defense, though, for Arizona, a good team actually. With the defensive line, though, like I said, I am going to. Like I said, the whole defense, I'm going to give a pass on this game. But if it happens again, then we got real issues, Scheer.
Yep. This is a big game. And I know it's NAU, and that sounds stupid, but if the defense struggles this week, I'm all in on them not being very good.
Yes, exactly. So that's that. Now, a little bit, what's your take on the safety plays, especially our guy Gunnar Maldonado?
He's hurt. I'm curious. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not just keeping that secret. I have no idea about his health. They need him. I don't know, like the play with Wysong, for instance, I don't blame Gunnar. You know, It was just a good catch. I didn't think it was awful.
Right. Now, the New Mexico offense, I don't want to be the guy that, pretends that they're good. So, I don't want to do that. But Dampier doesn't stink.
No, he doesn't stink.
He should go somewhere good next year.
He's going to get paid and go somewhere good.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to get paid. Someone is paying that dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's very good. A Tucson native as well, Devin Dampier. So that's something that we definitely need to keep in mind here. But overall, with this team, I am okay with what I saw. I need to see better, though. The offense, I don't really have any concerns about. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you all that when it comes to this offense, that Noah Fafita, or that you're going to see more wide receivers get the ball, just because I think that Noah Fafita wants to prove a point. Here's my case. What do people like Glenn and Jay Merck say then if Jeremiah Patterson has 7 catches for 90 yards next week?
T-Mac didn't get the ball enough.
T-Mac didn't. Oh, no. I got a better one. T-Mac's actually not that good. They scouted him.
Yeah, and you contained T-Mac. They had to go to other wide receivers.
Yes, exactly. So they contain T-Mac, and if NAU contains T-Mac, then really, are they that good? That's going to be the next argument, Scheer.
100%.
Yes. Now, I do think that with the tight, I also think you're going to see more from the tight ends. I do. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, offensively and defensively, you didn't see anything.
Right.
You just didn't. I could say that with confidence based on what I saw in camp. Tight end usage, defensive formations. You guys, it was very, very vanilla against New Mexico.
Yes, it was very vanilla. It was this. Now, we had to get a little bit of a late start because of a staff meeting. There is a presser that is going to be here shortly, so I'm closer to campus than Scheer is. But Scheer, you are dismissed. We will see you tomorrow. This is true.
Thank you very much, Michael. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, by the way, where can they find you doing all your work?
WildcatAuthority.com, 75% off sale the rest of the day. Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby. Get it done. I'm going to hang out with Glenn now.
All right. Yes, exactly. We will talk with you soon. I will see you soon, Jason Scheer. TTF and ta-ta for now. I am staying here, though, as is the great Kevin Thomas, who is now entering the equation as well. Now, you might say, Kevin Thomas, that guy's really cool. Where could I find him? Probably at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Listen, when you've got somebody like Kevin Thomas, he knows where to hang out. He's from St. Louis. We're going to get to St. Louis here in just a second. But at the Gila River Resorts and Casinos, as you all know, the cool little Wave. Check out the Wave. The Wave is very cool. And there's all kinds of really good stuff there. So when you look at the Gila River Resorts and Casinos, you know to yourself that this is going to be a great spot. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Again, the Wave. You can see it from I-10, and when you see it at I-10, it is just a very refreshing view. The Gila River Resorts and Casinos. So again, check it out. Now, also, Branded Bills. Kevin Thomas, the great Kevin Thomas, wants to enter this. He said he wants to come on during the Branded Bills segment. This is true, Kevin Thomas.
Oh, this is very true, Mike Luke. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty new to Branded Bills. But if you want to be cool like Mike Luke with the Inner Circle hat, but you also want to be cool like me, I noticed people in the comment section noticed the hat change. Yeah. This is a Branded Bills hat. Got the multicolor rope, and if this is not your style, we got other styles. We got the red one.
Moly.
We got the gray one. We got a camo white and gray one. We got a navy one. We got another navy one. And a gray one. So if you want to be like Mike Luke or like Kevin Thomas, Branded Bills is how to do it.
This is overwhelming, Kevin Thomas. This is that's absolutely fantastic. Now you might say to yourself, how can I be like Kevin Thomas? Well, go to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 20% off your first purchase. Very, very good stuff with Mr. Kevin Thomas. Check out Branded Bills. I might even get myself a Branded Bills, and then I will feel very good about myself as well. But either way, check it out, Branded Bills. All kinds of stuff. And like Glenn says, the blue one, because the blue one is very, very good. So, now, when it comes back to, here's where I'm at now when it comes to the Arizona running game, and this is somebody that I feel that I very much like on this team, and I would like this to be able to work because I think he's good. But Rayshon Speedy Luke, fam, I would love to be able to redshirt fam. Mainly because if you watch the game, you know for a fact, Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, he is very, very good. And obviously, Quali Conley. And the thing you got to remember about him is one's a sixth-year player, the other one is a fifth-year player. So they've been around the block. They've been around. They know what to expect. They know all of this stuff. And you watch them, and they're just grown men. I blame in a big way. I blame Jedd Fisch for this because Jedd Fisch should have redshirted Rayshon Speedy Luke. The reason he should have redshirted him is because he came in at 150 pounds, and he's got to be able to just get in there and I think just get a little bit bigger. I do not want to waste a year. Now, Joseph says, stop it, Mike. Speedy didn't look like he doesn't belong. He fits right. I didn't say he didn't belong. I never said that. But I don't want to have a year where he's getting 5 touches a I want 2 years where he comes in and he's getting all kinds of carries. That's what I want when it comes to Speedy Luke. I would like to see that one occur. If it occurs, then I think Arizona is in very, very good shape. We'll see how this one happens, though. Also, big shout out, Caden Luke, our guy, Caden Luke. Very, very good. We like the fullback, according to Kobe Thiel. And Caden Luke from CDO, a monster. We're going to talk a lot more about him next week as well. All right, a little bit of a shorter show today. We've got a little bit of a late start. Also got a presser, got a hop to. But very, very much appreciate you all listening to AZ Wildcats podcast. By the way, no better time to become a PHNX diehard. All kinds of fun stuff. Discord with Kobe and Erica. All kinds of really good stuff on there. And you can get merchandise, tickets, all kinds of stuff. Very much appreciate you. And as always, don't be like Glenn. Have a good day today. Be happy. You've got a ranked team unlike some others, but we will be back with you tomorrow, Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Then everything is back to 10:30. But on that note, thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. Appreciate you all, and Kevin Thomas behind the scenes.
We all silly like the mayor.